This week on the Push Pull Loads podcast, we talk about the Tabata protocol. What is it these influencers keep talking about? Also, how much should you be recovering?
Three, two, one. It's Cinco de Mayo.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Damik.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, bud?
I'm good, mate. I'm just struggling with my can here. Oh, there we go. Got it.
Yeah. Wow,
Yep.
Straight in, riveting. Just been struggling with my can.
Just struggling, mate. It's because I'm not strong from not being in the gym. Do you know?
True.
Not strong enough. Just a Fanta Grape. One of my favourites. It's just shot straight up there. Top 3.
Fanta Grape is good. Yeah. 100%. Big fan.
Yep.
Yeah,
I like it.
I had an issue with this because on Ocado, they sell it, right? And Chloe kept on buying she wasn't even normal Fanta. She just kept on buying diet vanilla Coke all the time. And I'm like, and then I was like, oh, can I look at the Ocado order for once? Like, 'cause she normally puts it in case she bought anything stupid. I was like, all right. And then went on the fizzy drinks. I was like, why? The Fanta Grape is literally sitting there and you haven't ordered it. It's mental. Why do you keep ordering 2 things of that?
Mate,
It's crazy.
Sounds like an idiot.
But yeah, I mean, you're having it a bit late, mate. Breakfast was a long time ago.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, it's a bit late or whatever. Oh god, mate, with everything that's going on, I don't know what time of day it is, what day it is. I don't know anything, mate. I just do whatever I fancy every day, you know. But yeah, it's what it is.
Annoyingly incredibly busy. I knew exactly what day it was yesterday and today, as I actually had to sit out of the trainer quiz today because I've just been at my laptop from 9 a.m. With a couple of meetings and then all the way till an hour with you.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Someone's been working for a day. Oh, it's not easy, is it? It ain't being an online coach. Oh, could do it easy all day long, working from home. It's tiring, mate.
So, I think it's just being at a laptop as well. And I'm starting, getting this weird thing in my elbow. And I'm like, ooh. So I'm going to have to get one of those, stand things for my laptop, I think.
Yeah.
I need to type like this. Obviously, this is brilliant for an audio podcast. But, yeah, Dan can see that I'm typing this way instead of bending my wrists and cocking my elbows at certain angles.
Yeah.
Starting to aggravate that old tennis industry.
Yeah, stopped you from going pro, that, didn't it? It's one of them injuries. But yeah, no, I'm sort of a bit, I say settled into routine now, but I think with everything I've got going on, I kind of know where I'm at with things now, and it feels a little bit more structured. And for me, the weeks are absolutely flying by.
They are
it's
flying by
weird. Thank God, thank fucking God they are. But yeah, I've sort of obviously weekends aren't really anything to me at the moment, but I sort of most of my coaching for 2.5-3 days of the week, and then I do the other bits and bobs that I'm trying to do in the other days, which means I've got a lot of time to do it, which means things are going quite well with that and progressing well. But the next thing for me to do is to step up my content game, because I know I've been a bit slack on it, to be fair. So I've started finding a spot to record some good videos. So I found that spot now, so that's good. So I'm going to record a few more videos, do more things like that, and yeah, just see what happens. But the one thing I'm not going to do is do a home workout video, because no one needs to see that. There's enough of them on Instagram everywhere, and it does my fucking head in, because they're all so bad, all the ones that I see. So yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, they're a bit, I don't know, I'm just bored of them now.
I just don't get it. The same principles apply now that applied before, and shock horror, the same people who still couldn't work out with weights still can't work out at home. It's no surprise to me, but it's just they're everywhere. That's all I see, and it's just that whole fucking industry of just put on a bright pair of leggings and a bright top that matches, and then why do influencers? Right, I'm going to go. No, I'm going to rant now. I'm going to rant. Why do influencers on Instagram point at the muscle group that they're working before their videos? Why do they point at their abs when they're doing an ab workout video? I know where abs are. I'm not a fucking moron. Just showing off that you've got abs is pointless. Or they do it to their glutes. They'll do a glute workout and they're pointing at their bum. They always do it like this, always. Or if they're doing a shoulder workout, they're pointing at their shoulders. I'm like, you've written on the video shoulder workout. I know where your shoulders are. ridiculous. And it really annoys me because on the explore page, all you see is that sort of shit. And of course, because then you click on it to fucking have a laugh at it, you get sent more of it because obviously you clicked on it. So I'm just like, oh my God, like my explore feed is just shitty influencer workouts and basketball stuff. That's literally it. Like that's all I seem to look at.
Good point. Like, what's mine? Mine is just golf things. Can you see how much I'm missing golf?
Wow. Yeah, yours is just golf. Like, I just find it hilarious. Like
golf and sprinting mechanics, and that's about it.
I'm sure a lot of mine will be memes, but obviously they're all private accounts. But yeah, look, like it is literally just basketball. Look at that, basketball stuff, and then like Gymshark athletes posing for selfies. It's just ridiculous. I get sent all this shit, and I don't get it. I just don't understand it, and I'm a bit of a loss with it because I can't help but feel like it's just like a self-fulfilling cycle thing where all the other girls that do it, and then you see them post occasionally like, oh yeah, you know, social media is just a highlight reel, don't believe it all. And it's like, yeah, but you're the problem. You're the problem. Like, come on. They're posting these shitty home workouts, and it's like, no, you didn't get your ass from doing those glute band kickbacks. Didn't happen that way.
You did.
Yeah, it's just like, I think I've come out of this, like, obviously it's been a long time at it in this sort of place, and I think I'm starting to come out of like not giving a shit, and now I'm like, okay, now I need to start making content that's highlighting this sort of crap because it's everywhere still, as always. I just don't understand it. Like, you'd think that they'd get bored at some point, but they don't. I get bored of it, but I should have to, like I said, I should make content so that it kind of shows it. But then you feel like you're fighting lost battles. What's the point? Yeah. I should probably just keep doing memes about them, but it's frustrating. It's just
100%, mate. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's bonkers. Especially with the crappy workouts, it is incredibly annoying because it's the same people, 100%, who weren't moving very well in the gym, and it's just like, yep, I learned how to do a bodyweight thing. Now, I learned how to do this yesterday in an Instagram class. Now I'm going to teach all of you guys to do it today. Like,
it's just jumping around. It's just getting sweaty. Well done. Well, sit in a fucking sauna. It doesn't do anything for you. Like, it doesn't change your physique. It doesn't make you any better or stronger.
It's the whole thing of any moron can make you tired, right?
Anyone can, and like Ben Bruno talks about it all the time, and like obviously we love the man, but it's just that whole thing of anyone can just make you do 100 burpees. Like that's not a PT. Like, it's not a trainer. That's just a drill sergeant can make you do that. Like, I remember when I used to do football training when I was like 13, 14 or whatever, you used to do press ups as a punishment. Anyone can make you like do shit like that. It's not hard. It just frustrates me that these people are looked upon as though they know shit, or that they're like, oh, teach me. Oh, I'm going to try this workout at home. It's like, yeah, you're going to be disappointed because you're not going to look like her after doing it, if that's what you think. And people actually think that. They actually think that that's going to happen. Well, they must do, otherwise they wouldn't fucking do them, would they?
I don't know. So that kind of, I don't know. It lends into some of the stuff we're going to talk about, because something that has cropped up within these workouts, and fair play, they're doing workouts, keeping people vaguely moving rather they go for a walk. But there's been, I don't know, has this come up on your influences? The Tabata protocol.
They've not named it, but they're all doing HIIT at home. Because it's
HIIT at home or whatever.
Home workouts,
if it rhymes, it means it works, right? It means it's true. But yeah, the Tabata study, it's a bit different to how these people like.
A bit different.
Yeah, just a bit different. So, I mean, should we go through? I mean, the Tabata study, just a reminder. You're not doing the Tabata protocol if you're doing circuit training, okay?
You're not.
The Tabata protocol in the study by I don't know, let's call him Gary Tabata, whoever Tabata man was. You have to. The whole point of it is the maximal exertion on a bike or another steady state machine, so you can do high outputs. At bursts and then that complete recovery. So it's like it's the 2010 thing. That's exactly the Tabata study. So 20 seconds of high, like air dying, skier, rowing, sprinting, whatever, and 10 seconds to chill out. Tabata does not mean 20 seconds of doing kettlebell swings and then chilling out for 20. because that's not high intensity.
Well, because kettlebell swings you can only really do at one pace, the right pace.
The weight, it's not. It's burpees. No, I don't think so because that's the form dictates it's gonna just be awful. Let's not even put that in.
Stupid to do burpees.
And then circuits is just circuit training. You're just doing 20-10 circuit training. That's it. Because it needs really good technique and it is difficult. So the true protocol is like 4 days a week. You have to do it 4 days a week. You can't just randomly do it. So the whole point of this, like when they did the study, is 4 days a week doing intermittent, like moderate to high, but like exhaustive training, which was the 20-10, and you do it for 7 to 8 sets.
Oh, thinking about it.
And then after that, in the Tabata protocol, you have to go off and do 30 minutes of steady state, or about 70% of your VO2 max, and then do another 20-10 times 4 to finish. That's the Tabata protocol in the study. I don't think anybody's doing that then.
Just say Tabata though. Just say Tabata though. If you just say Tabata, it sounds good, and it's like you can put it on Instagram. And
So
just
to
Tabata.
recap, it's about normal. A Tabata protocol is 7 to 8 rounds of 20-10 at like rowing or whatever. Then you do 70% VO2 for half an hour, and then you go back to do half the amount, so 4 times of the 20-10 protocol. That is Tabata protocol. Not what is being banded around is the 20-10 times 8 for circuit training or other based things. That's cool. That's just exhaustive training.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That's gonna fuck you up.
yeah, that will fuck you up. Absolutely. But like doing 20 seconds of push-ups and 10 seconds in a kettlebell circuit, it's not a thing.
That's not.
It's just a circuit. And Tabata's the guy's name. I don't know what his first name is. That's why I said Gary.
Let's just call him Gary, shall we?
We can be generic, can't we?
But again, it's just. But mate, what should we expect of PTs? They're obviously going to butcher stuff because they can't even fucking do squats right, half of them, bodyweight ones. So it makes no difference. Like it's baffling the shit that you see. It is baffling, but no one listening to this podcast is going to do something like that. But at the same time, it's sort of it gets around, and then people start going, "Oh yeah, Tabata's high intensity, isn't it?" It's like no, it's not. No. High intensity is high intensity. Tabata's Tabata. There's two different things.
Yeah.
Like,
So
they're not the same.
Because it was meant to, as the study was meant to demonstrate. I can't say this word. Specificity.
Specificity.
That's a hard word to say.
It is for you.
It is. I had speech therapy as a child. Specificity. Yes, of exercise adaptations, not to create like a workout that is hard in 4 minutes, that will magically improve. I think that the basis of it is it's to improve your anaerobic and aerobic capacity, is what the PTs think. Well, the people who are doing the Tabata protocols incorrectly maybe are thinking that's going to dramatically do it in 4 minutes. Obviously not. If you're gonna, because it's meant to say that you can improve both of those things if you do the correct protocol, because you're going to do anaerobic and then go into 30 minutes of aerobic and then back into anaerobic, because the whole protocol is meant to say that you're able to kill yourself and act without the presence of oxygen in your blood, and you'll be able to move and regenerate muscle and whatever in the aerobic, but still moving. Even though you're doing 70% of your VO2, you're still able to replenish within that 30 minutes to be able to hit 4 bouts again, which is tough, but it is possible. You will feel better than when you finish the 4 minutes of whatever death. So yeah, that's the actual protocol. If anybody wants to see that, you can look it up. Gary Tabata is his name.
It's not.
So yeah, it's interesting. And also, yeah, if you actually summarize the whole Tabata protocol, 85% of it is not done at high intensity.
Yeah.
70% in 10 seconds. A whole lot of it is done at lower intensity. But the Tabata is high intensity workouts. Nah, it's a lot of steady state actually.
But it's just the whole thing with the media, isn't it? It's just media talk about it, and then they get hold of the article. They talk about the bit that's the extreme thing, the extreme bit.
It's interesting. I've not heard one person mention, now you've done your little circuit, can you run for 30 minutes, please? Jump on the bike. But yeah, that might be the thing that changes the aerobic capacity. You never know. It is. It definitely is.
Yeah, could be.
But yeah, that was one of the things that was, I don't know, from these home workouts. Some of these like buzzwords, all the buzzwords like the HIIT training, and because you all know that I love my plyometric training, but that gets beaten up a hell of a lot during body weight because it's like we can do plyometrics. You're missing the point.
Yeah. Let's get hot and sweaty jumping around. That's not the point of.
How many foot contacts have you done? What? That's how we measure the accumulated plyometric exercises. Otherwise, it's not plyometrics. As soon as you start using your muscle, it's not plyometric. It's ballistic. So.
But mate, she's doing it in a bikini, so who cares?
I mean, if I did it in a bikini,
people would watch it, mate. That would get
people would watch.
That would get some shares.
Exercise. But interesting, mate. But yeah, I've done. I've been on the workout game. I did a yoga class.
Wow.
Obviously in our own home. But I did yoga class. A yoga class last week. It was interesting. It wasn't as like, I know you've done some, haven't you? You had to do them for football, didn't you?
We had to test out the teachers. So we had to go and do an 8-week course. And we went with actually one of the players at the time. He actually quite enjoyed it, but I didn't get it. I didn't understand.
I didn't mind it. It wasn't as ridiculous as I thought it would be. But as you get to know some of them, then you really, I don't know, figure out a little bit of their idiosyncrasies and the stuff that they've missed out on in certain certainly some of the online trainers and stuff I thought have been really, really good. Or the people doing Instagram workouts, and then you're starting to follow them and you realize that maybe they need to brush up on their anatomy knowledge and all this kind of stuff, and you're like, that's not quite correct what you just said. If only you hadn't said that, I was liking you so much. It's a bit annoying, but the yoga stuff was like, it was so hard. Like, I would deem myself as a lifter pretty flexible and pretty mobile. I think I'm in, I don't know, top 15%. I can move pretty well, and she was just like flowing all over the place. It was bonkers.
I just feel like they put you in positions though that you're never going to find yourself, and you're never going to need to go that far. So it's like, okay, I get to a point where like you're going to need to know certain things, but that's where I think, for example, the mobility class we used to do is far better for people than that, because they feel like they can see themselves improving with that. Whereas with yoga, I always feel like you're always supposed to go to that point where you absolutely feel you can't do it anymore and you can't stretch anymore. It's like, so what's the end goal here? For me to like be able to like wrap myself around myself, like what's the point? Like, whereas at least there's some element of, well, no, once you start moving better and you feel like you're moving better, it becomes easier and you're like, okay, I can do this. I just felt with yoga it was always just like, oh yeah, this is tight. I'm like, yeah, I get that, but this isn't really helping me get any further than that. Like, I don't understand what you're trying to achieve, and yeah, I didn't get on with it at all.
I didn't know what type of yoga it was. I think it was like I'm fairly sure it was basic, considering I was attempting it. But the one thing that was good was in each of those positions that was held, they got people to breathe like 3 times or something like that, which is cool. But the annoying thing, it wasn't like, all right, we're going to do what we would deem in like FMS terms or whatever, crocodile breathing or something like that, where we know we're doing like the 8 seconds exhale to bring the rib cage down, that kind of stuff. That would have been nice to have been told, because we know that's kind of anatomical neutral, is that probably the position we're trying to obtain to enhance those stretches. We realize a massive exhale or an 8-second out or like a prolonged exhale is going to be pretty good all round for lower back pain, pelvic, hip pain, all this kind of stuff, because it's going to be like almost like I hate this term, like resetting stuff and switching it off. It's like, it doesn't go off. We'll just say it's chilling out for a bit. Like, I used that analogy today. It was like,
switched off, mate.
Nothing switched on. I was like, if it was all off, then we'd be a blob on the floor.
Yeah,
that was something's happening. That's my only analogy, the blob analogy. But yeah, that would have been nice to explain. But as a thing, I thought it was quite good. I didn't do the whole like namaste and kind of thinking your thoughts and all this kind of stuff, because
thinking your thoughts. Yeah, don't think.
I know the empowerment stuff. I didn't quite get that. That's not me. I don't think. I'll be giggling in the corner. But don't really know what's happening.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I think it's one of those things that's quite tough. Like I remember Laura's shown me a few Pilates stuff before, and that is fucking hard. Like that is ridiculous. So like, I've tried a few of those things before, and I can see more of a benefit. If I had to pick one, I'd be doing that. I can see the benefit of that, the crossover to lifting and being stronger and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think right now, like you say, it's just a case of I'm sort of encouraging my clients to try things like that and try stuff, because at the end of the day, turn up for an hour doing that is gonna be far better for you than pretending to do a home workout or whatever. Because it's just
100%. Like it was like 45 minutes rolling around on the floor, having a giggle. It was good.
All right, mate. I don't know what you're doing. Fucking hell. Calm down. I thought you were doing yoga. Yeah, I don't know. I feel, maybe I said this. Did I say this last week? I just feel like I wish I'd been more on Instagram, a bit more like, not open about my workouts and how I'm training and stuff, but I literally am just not doing anything. Like, I genuinely am doing like the odd 15 minutes of like, right, how many press-ups can I do in 15 minutes? Or like TRX rows or goblet squats or whatever. And I'm like, I just don't, and I'm just not in any way worried about it. And I think I should have been more active in talking about it, because I think people who follow me maybe would worry less. And like the reason I'm not posting what I'm working out, my workouts on Instagram, because I'm not doing any. Like, I'm not hiding anything. I'm just not doing anything. And I think it's, I just think it's important that people know that 6 to 8 weeks of your life of not lifting, it's really not going to make a huge difference. Like
it's drop in the ocean, isn't it?
It's and we talk about consistency all the time. We talk about what you do consistently makes you and all this sort of stuff. And when we say that, we mean even longer than 6 to 8 weeks, believe it or not. Like genuinely, like I said, I've weighed myself for the last 6 weeks, and I've actually lost weight, but I've like half a kilo, like nothing. I don't feel great about how I look. My body composition has changed. I don't look as good as I did before. I definitely feel a bit more lethargic. I'm definitely not as fit. But at the same time, like, I know I can sort it out. I really am not bothered about it. And I think that there's so many people stressing out so much about what they're doing and whether it's perfect, whether it's optimal, what even optimal is. And I'm just like, calm the fuck down. Like, you've got a whole year after this, and you'll be better off in a year's time than you were 8 weeks ago. If you do what you need to do. Like, if you never had another week, another 2 weeks not doing anything, another 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it doesn't make a difference. It really doesn't make a difference. And I spoke to Gordon Greenhorn on Instagram Live not that long ago, and I've got some clips from it to post. But he basically said he's obviously trained for years, and then he went away and he did a traveling for a year. Whole year went traveling, and he only trained 10 times the whole year. And he was like, and even then it was like barely anything, just 10 times. And he's like, within that year coming back, 9 months later, he entered his second powerlifting competition and set PBs in everything. And it's like, would he have done that if he hadn't had the year off? Potentially that year off could have been actually the one thing he needed. That could have been the one thing that made him do that. We'll never know. But the point is that he did that over a year and trained as many times, like I say, in that year, 10 times, and still did that. And yes, he had all the background of being a great trainer, and when he was away, probably still ate enough protein, but I bet you there's a lot of days he fucking didn't. And I bet there's a lot of days he drank some beer and he didn't really give a fuck. And I just thought it was a great example to be like, no, calm down. Just calm down. Everybody calm the fuck down. Like, yes, we want to maintain where we're at from a body composition. Yes, we want to be roughly where we need to be. But if you do those things, the other stuff won't really matter. I just think people are really hammering home the whole like, oh, I really miss the gym. Oh, I'm losing all my progress. It's like, you're not losing all your progress. You're not dead. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're just here. Like, so you still have made progress. You're still stronger now than you were, like, don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever. Exactly. I just think it's crazy. Like you said there, the analogy of like, if it wasn't turned on, you'd be on the floor. It's like exactly the same. It's like people think their strength's now at zero. It's like, no, your strength's still there. You could still probably squat 100 kilos if you could. You just can't. Like, I just think everyone's just really pessimistic about everything when it comes to the gym, and it's sort of like your muscles are still there. They're not falling off.
It's like when we ordered the kettlebells and we got a 14 kilo and a 20, and I picked it up. I was like, fucking hell, that seems heavy. Guess what? Because I haven't lifted anything that heavy for a while, and I was like, I haven't had to recruit that much muscle fiber.
Weird thing as well. So today my car battery ran out because I went to turn it on. Obviously 6 weeks not using it, completely gone. And I have to pick it up out of my car and pick it up and carry it into the house because it's too far away to sort of plug in. Yeah. I actually remember last time I did it, it felt heavier than now. I did it this time. I was like, oh, actually that feels all right. And I was expecting it to be really heavy, and I was like, oh my god, I remember how heavy this was last time. And I carried it up this time, and it felt easier this time than last time. And I was like, it's just a bit of a, I don't know, like I just think it's just people's heads just get the better of them with what's going on. It's just like, calm down, really calm down. Like nothing crazy is happening. So yeah, and I just think, like I said, that story about Gordon, I think it's just such a interesting way of looking at it. Thinking in 9 months' time, you're gonna be stronger than you've ever been before.
Yeah, it could happen. Like there's I'm gonna be interested in what's happening in the NFL, because obviously Tom Brady's gone down to Tampa Bay. There is a point to this conversation. Rob Gronkowski, who retired for a year. Well, he had retired, and then he was like, "Nah, I don't want to play anymore. Blah blah blah. I want to go do WWE and all this kind of stuff." But he's come back because he wants to come back and play with Tom Brady in a more fun environment in Florida. So he's going to come back, but he's had a year off. He's been fucking around. He's well known for being a party boy and kind of partying on boats and stuff. It'd be really interesting to see if he hits the gym. I'm guessing he hasn't been hitting the gym very hard. Like, is he coming back?
Yeah,
he can't because he's in quarantine, so he can't do all the team workouts, all this kind of stuff. I'm going to guarantee he's going to come back fucking on it. And all kind of the niggles and stuff like that have probably gone away. I mean, what's his face? John Clark was talking about it, wasn't he? I've realised he's completely switched. But all the niggles and aches and pains and stuff have probably gone away. There's another a powerlifter that I'm friends with as well. He competes in an assisted federation, and he's actually a little bit lighter because he's lost a bit of mass. But he's like, actually, chance to really look at stuff here. I haven't been lifting heavy, but every ache, every little pain, every little thing has gone. And he's like, I'm feeling better in myself. And the chances are that because you're feeling that all the aches and pains have died down, he's going to feel like his limit is maybe a little bit higher. He's going to go in and kill it a little bit better. So there's light at the end of the tunnel. Giving yourself to recharge, and especially body-wise, yeah. You don't have to be killing yourself the whole time. Be like, oh, yeah, I should have been doing this today. I should have been doing that. It's like, guess what? You're not going to be able to. No, don't feel shit about it. Because 100%, yeah, I've, like what we said, working out by myself, at least you've done it by yourself. Workouts by myself, I've done 2. Because I've just been like, ugh, it's boring. I don't want to do it by myself. I don't like training like upstairs in the living room. I don't like training in the bedroom. I quite like going out for a bike ride. So I've been doing that, and you can, because Regent's Park's just there, I can do a intense lap and then back off lap, an intense lap, back off lap. Really annoying. Traffic lights. They're just, why do they turn red when you're trying to do a really intense lap and do, like, because on Strava they set times and records and stuff for going around the thing. Whoever set the record going around that is fucking unbelievable. Like the record on Strava for cycling around Regent's Park is something like, it's about 5 minutes flat, something like that.
Mate, sure they didn't just drive round?
Maybe. I'm seriously considering it.
That's what I do.
I'm not that like slow. I realise I'm not a amazing cyclist, but people on Watt Bike my MMP is about 410, 415, and my FTP is about 290. So I can hold my own. But like I did the lap at 7:30. I'm 2.5. I'm 50% slower than the person who set that record on Strava. So I'm like, I've got to get it under 7 minutes. Like, I'm going to go. That's my thing. So I bought my shoes. Obviously, that knocked off. And when I first put them on, it knocked off like 30 seconds of that lap. And I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Then I've actually bothered like making the seat height correct, which is a big thing. So yeah, interesting. Watch this space. Maybe I should actually get a new bike. It's a little bit heavy. It's only about 8 kilos, but a bit heavy, man.
Fucking hell, 8 kilos on a bike.
Yeah, bit tough. We could do curls with that.
I could, mate. I could do bench press with that.
Interesting, mate. With all these workouts, there's a thing I saved on Instagram, and it's saying how hard would my workout or should my workout be. This does talk about relative systemic loading. Just means loading percentage. That's right, Dan. Yeah. But then it talks about repeatability, the purpose, and the recovery of it. I thought it was reasonably interesting because I think a lot of people, the common misconception for a lot of people is to try and kill yourself every workout. And maybe the loading, that would be on like loading and stuff. Like, it gives give perspective of maybe body weight and like low loads right now. That how much repeatability you're kind of aiming for and how much recovery you're kind of aiming for. So they've put it in like a 10 to 30% of load in, then 30 to 50%, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 90 to 90, 90 to 100%. So, and the repeatability just notches up with the load in, and the recovery time is vice versa. So it's just an interesting way of looking at stuff. That the fact is, with some of this stuff, you can still have like moderate recovery. So I think a lot of people may be like, for the kettlebell workouts and some of the dumbbell workouts, they're probably working at about 30 to 50% of maybe their systematic load, and they're trying to like retain muscle mass and accumulate a little bit of strength. So the like recovery periods can only be short. So it's in theory you could hit every single workout. I'm going to go 18 to 24 hours of recovery and still hit it pretty well, which kind of layers into not the Tabata thing. Annoyingly, but then there's like up to 90 to 100% is like a shock and like overreaching, and the recovery is just a roll of a dice. It could take me and Dan, it would take about 2 weeks to recover from a 90 to 100% effort.
100% it would,
something like that. But it changes based off aerobic capacity and anaerobic stuff. But if you're doing like a hard anaerobic effort, so I did those like full on 7.5 minute like efforts on the bike yesterday. There's no chance I'm doing that today. For example, and with those hard efforts of like maybe the HIIT training or the false Tabata protocols that people are doing on their workouts and trying to kill themselves by doing as many burpees, realizing that you still need the recovery in time is big. So maybe it's like do the workout on the Thursday and then chill out and go for the walk on the Friday and then do it again on the Saturday, because there's still rest days. And I'm seeing some people, I'll look on my Instagram, maybe some of my clients who are still trying to kill it, and not understanding to chill out slightly. And probably when they train with me, I make them rest whilst they're working out quite litigiously. So I don't know if that happens with, it certainly doesn't happen with me and you, but
I just think recovery is just so underplayed by everyone. Everyone just assumes that with the body that you just, the more you do the better, and it's just like the biggest fallacy going. Like, it's just painful. And I just think in terms of as a I don't know, when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to training, as a influencer thing, again, the whole influencers and that sort of shit is, this comes back down to the whole thing of why I think influencers are so bad for the industry and how we do things, because they can do those sorts of workouts they do every day because they're fucking shit. They're shit workouts. They don't do anything for you. Whereas if you're actually training in the gym really, really hard, training more than 4 to 5 sessions in a week in the gym is hard to recover from. Even more so if you're then in the calorie deficit. But this is the other thing that I hate with it all, is that those numbers you're talking about would 100% change based on calorie status and calorie intake. 100%. If you're in a deficit, you could add those hours, you could probably add 50% to. I think you could probably add 50%. And likewise, if you're at maintenance or a surplus, they're okay. And if you go into a bigger surplus, they may even be slightly reduced. If you give yourself even more calories, you may reduce that by 10% potentially. But there comes a point where you just have to let your body recover. And this whole attitude of fitness, which is do more, is what causes people to develop unhealthy relationships with food, with training, with all sorts of stuff. And like, I'm in a place now where my training and my nutrition, like someone asked me the other day on Instagram, I'm going to write an email about this. And they said, oh, do you eat eggs every morning? Like, obviously we posted my eggs thing. I thought they were high in calories. I was like, they are high in calories. They're like, oh, so why do you eat them then? I was like, because I like them. Oh, do you think I should eat them? Do you like eggs? Well, yeah, I love them. I was like, well, what's your goal? I'm trying to lose weight. Well, probably don't eat them then. And there was this whole thing around like, oh, because you eat them, I'm going to eat them. And I'm like, no, that's not how this works. Like, don't follow someone who is in half decent shape or looks like they know what they're doing, or me, and copy what they're doing. Like, that's not what this is about. I do things for me because I know it works for me. I know that I can eat chocolate every day. I know that I can get away with eating limited amounts of veg because I don't get hungry. I know my body. I know what I can and can't do. And what I'm doing is not in any way, shape or form an endorsement for what you should be doing or someone else should be doing. And this is where the influencers, in my opinion, piss me off, because I see them doing or posting their videos of their home, of not of their home workouts. This is before this all happened, but posting their workouts of like, yeah, do this on this day, do this on this day, or whatever it is. And they make it look as if they're doing something every day because they're posting every day. Now, they're not probably doing them every day. They're probably recording a bunch of them in 2 or 3 hours so they've got content to put out, right?
Hey,
but what's
Frankie.
happening? But what they're doing is they're posting it every day, and people think, oh, so-and-so is training every day. I need to train every day. So-and-so's eating that meal for breakfast every single day. I need to eat every single day. They're eating only, this food. They're not going to post their every single meal they eat. They're only going to post stuff that looks good for Instagram or that looks better or whatever. And it's this whole thing that, because they're doing it, I should do it. Well, no, because some elite level athletes might train every day at a high intensity because every single factor of their recovery is accounted for. They don't go to work and have a stressful day like you do, mate. You're not on the same level here. Don't think that you can train like an elite level athlete. You can't. You can train 3 days a week, full body, doing combat movements. You're going to recover well enough from them. You're going to be in a calorie deficit. They're probably not because they're already lean. They're already in good shape. Like, stop thinking that you can do the same as what they're doing. And likewise with those influencer stuff, is they just aren't telling people what they're doing. They post it every day, and it makes it look as if you should train every day. You should do cardio in the morning, weights in the evening, do it every day. And it's like they're just living a different life in a different world to you. And that's what frustrates me about it all, is like you just said, is it's not sexy for us to turn around and go, yeah, but you need to recover from these sessions. Like, you need to have a day off. That's the hardest thing I get my clients to do. Getting my clients to train isn't that difficult. It's getting them to stop training. No, don't do so much. No, don't cut back on food so much. No, don't do that. Go to sleep. Like, but it's not sexy. It's never going to sell anything. And that's the thing that frustrates me the most, is it's one of the most underplayed things. And a lot of people that I work with, the majority of them, I'll be telling them to take more rest, to do less workouts, to train less. And what happens after 6 months? Oh, their PBs go up. The weights they lift go up. Their strength goes up. Their physique looks better. And I'm telling them to do less, and they can't work it out. I'm like, yeah, because I know what I'm fucking doing. It's basic. Yeah, it's basic, mate. Like, what you were doing before wasn't working. Now you've come to me to ask for help. Don't do or try and do what you're doing before, because that wasn't working, remember? And it frustrates me.
Insanity, isn't it?
Well, apparently that's what the definition is, isn't it?
What are you doing, Frankie? Not interrupted by the dog, but podcast dogs come in. It's great.
Yeah, we're having trouble cutting his nails, right? Yeah, he hates having his nails cut. Like, we've still not really done it very well. And we spoke to someone who breeds Dachshunds, and she said, you need to wrap him in a towel with the paw hanging out that you want it to do. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds so hard. Tried it, and he just kept wriggling out. He just wouldn't get it. We couldn't do it tight enough. It was ridiculous. Yeah. He just doesn't like it. Do you, boy? Hey?
I have to send my sister down. Just like, I've got to order a vet all the way from Essex.
Can we do that over Zoom? Can we do a Zoom session? Cut his nails? Yeah, he just loves sitting on our bed. I don't know why. He just loves sitting there, just curls up. But anyway, what was that? Yeah, but yeah, recovery. So yeah, recovery. Like, it's just, I just find it baffling that it's just not talked about, and it's not sexy. And we talk about it till the cows come home, but that's the trait of people who are at the top level and who are doing really, really good things, is that their recovery's on point. Their training's on point, yes, but they couldn't have the training without the recovery. They couldn't do it.
No, we talked about training programs before as well. I think I mentioned Usain Bolt's fucking training workouts and some of the stuff, and he's a complete freak of nature, but I bet his recovery's insane. The guy is laid back as anything, but he doesn't want to train.
You can't. The thing is, well, like, to be at the right intensity that you need to lift in terms of the weights you're lifting and all that sort of stuff, you just can't do more of it. Like, you just can't do more and expect your body to cope.
Because you're like, actually, you're like, oh, you look like you push yourself like really hard in the gym when you're doing it. And it's like, yeah, but I have like 2-3 days off. like, and chill out. It's like, I'll be able to, oh, you're lifting really heavy and that looks really tough. Like, yeah, but you won't see me doing it again for a while. But then there will be people who are just kind of spinning the hamster wheel that's still going, but it's never going to get any faster, kind of thing, because it's just going to keep going at that steady pace, because you never really exert yourself as much as possible in that thing, in whatever you're doing every single day. And then you're like, I've never backed off and then gone. It's like having a run up, isn't it? It's like either slowly and they just burst and get faster, rather than just like chug along at one speed. You're not going to expect any real change. I find that more impressive as well. It's like, all right, that person's like killed it for one session. Has to be way better than just like mediocre sessions all the time, trying to do as much as possible. But yeah, disgusting, mate.
I don't know where that came from, but it just came out. I don't know where it is.
A rant? Nah, it's very true.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I kind of schedule one in every kind of 10 to 12 minutes of the podcast.
Yeah. But no, I think it'd be interesting as well. We need to cover this on a later podcast, but getting back into training, because that's the next thing. Like, what people are going to start doing is they're going to, once they get back to the gym, they're going to want to go every day. And it's like, no, don't be so stupid. Like, the first session back is going to absolutely kill you. Like, you're going to feel awful after that. First week back, 2 full body sessions, if you're lucky, max. Don't even think about anything else. But we'll do that on another podcast.
Because, I mean, from inside the industry, for people who are wondering, we do have, I don't know, I mean, it's hearsay right now, but maybe a slight intel of what gyms might start to look like. I think everybody with a brain has kind of worked this out, what they might start to look like when they start to reopen, which I'm not expecting anytime soon at all. At least.
Well, I just read, I don't know how true it is, but apparently, I mean, it's on Facebook, so you don't know what the fuck to believe, but there's an article that's been shared in that Gym Outcast group just now that says apparently China have just had to shut their gyms and pools because they've started to have a second wave, apparently. I don't know how true it is.
I thought that was true. I thought China had shut their... I thought that was last week, though.
I don't know. I literally just saw it as I was flicking.
I thought they had shut them down again. But yeah, obviously, like, I know some restaurants and stuff somewhere are open at 30% capacity. And we were talking about this. We'll talk about the sliding furlough scheme and what should happen, basically, based on people coming back to part-time work, and then the government pays them a slight bit of wage, and then the person with productivity and the business can pay them a slight bit of wage. That probably we think should happen as we start to go back. Because obviously right now the furlough system has no flexibility, and that's what's crap. It should be like, all right, you can do 25% government pay and then 75% full pay from the person, so you can work for 75% of your hours because we have that much business. Or we only have a little bit of business, so you can do 20% of your hours, so 2 days a week, and then the government will pay you for the 3 days a week. Still win for the government because they're not paying as much, and you actually get the economy running a little bit more. But I'm assuming that might happen with gyms. And in the know, we've had this discussion operationally, that the chances are we'll be 100% running at only 50% capacity. I think that's what we've been capped at, maybe by UK Active so far, I believe. This is all off the back of, like, I don't know, off the back of a lorry kind of gossip, isn't it? And the way they might be, and you might have to actually book in a session, even though if you book in with a PT session, obviously it happens like that. You book in for class, obviously it happens like that, 50% capacity. So all the classes will be halved no matter what, I'd assume, and run at really particular ways of not sharing equipment and all this kind of stuff. And then you probably have to book in a certain slot, like, all right, I'm going to be on a treadmill at 6:15, and you book in your 6:15 till 7:15 an hour slot to be in the gym. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen, and you won't be allowed in at any other time. Be interesting. I think that's probably the way to police it, rather than kind of a one-in, one-out system like the supermarkets have got right now, because we've already got a membership list, and you just adhere to the membership list. And then certain... And
I don't think it would be too hard, to be honest.
I don't think it would be too hard, because maybe you like give people so many credits per week, or they just book in. Yeah, I think you can.
I think also there's going to be a large percentage of people who don't want to go back. They're not going to, they're not going to want to. So
speaking to the CEO, yeah, he's been like, we're obviously going to lose members. People won't. There'll be some people who'll be queuing up at the door on the day one to get back in. There'll be some people who'll be like, cancel membership on the day we open. Like, I don't want to do that again. It's already cramped enough as it is, even though we, as one of the premium gyms, we allow more space per member. But yeah, it will be at peak times. We'll be 100%. It'll be, I think 50% is optimistic. I think it's more likely 30%. And even then, we're looking at none of it's going to be profitable. So then you're in the same catch-22. And you're like, at least money's going through the tills, but is it actually viable for us to even be open? Like, you're still paying. Then you have to pay somebody's wages to be there, that kind of stuff. So we know of some people who, as soon as the government money gets pulled out, they're going to go bankrupt, and they'll be like, then file for bankruptcy and just be like, fuck it, I can't do anything. Like, rather file bankruptcy than get keep and, like, I don't know, filter out the government support than try and open the business again. Cut your losses. Sad, but yeah, it's going to happen. Real sad. Yeah, but going back, we'll do a podcast on that. Yeah, your workouts when going back to the gym. I'm just going to do curls for days. My arms are feeling it.
Yeah, I just think people are going to be quite shocked as to how sore they're going to be just from even just putting a barbell on your back and doing squats, even if it's with 50% of what you're used to, even 3 sets of 5 with that.
Clients that complained that they were sore from doing his body weight workouts.
Yeah.
Put that on steroids when you go back.
Don't go on steroids, but yeah, no, actually go on steroids. No, go on steroids actually. Yeah, like I just think it's easing your way into it. Like you're gonna see progress pretty quick when you start getting back in the gym again. Like that's the other exciting thing is like it's gonna be pretty motivating. Like over 12 weeks, seeing your lifts go right. Okay, I'm feeling fucking good now. Like you're gonna start seeing them progress. And that's the bit I'm looking forward to the most. I think with it is it's more just having following a plan and realizing the simplicity of how easy it is and how simple things just work when you stick to a rough plan. Like, you know, people aren't going to take it for granted anymore, I don't think. I just think it's going to be interesting. Very interesting to see how everyone deals with going back. And to be fair, it's only going to get better. Like things can only improve from where they're at, right? So that's the other thing I'm saying to people is like, look, you're only going to feel better and you're only going to feel stronger, physically better, all that sort of stuff is only going to improve. So a few more weeks and hopefully, like you said, we'll be in a position where we can start to feel like there's some sort of hope. Get back in the gym.
No. Or we Bunkercast 12, 13, something like that. I'm
predicting, right, here we go. I'm predicting.
How many Bunkercasts?
I'm predicting. But bear in mind, obviously with it, we obviously did about 6 in the first 2 or 3 weeks, didn't we? So let's say what's it been? Sort of 2 a week on average so far?
Yeah, about
that. So I reckon it's obviously going to slow down now. I reckon we're going to do another. I think that we're going to do another 6 Bunkercasts at least.
Yeah. I reckon we'll make 20. We'll make 20 Bunkercasts.
So what's 6? Yeah, 19. Yeah, I think it'll be. Yeah,
I'm going to go over. Yeah. But
when's it officially not a Bunkercast? When we go back to the gym, and me and you go back to the gym.
Yeah, when I go back to work.
Oh wow! Okay, okay. No, that's different. That's different.
Not through my own choice. If I'm forced and just got rid of, then maybe. I don't know when we can go to the gym.
I feel like for me,
I
feel like it's going to be my first session back at the gym.
For
me, that's when I feel like it's going to be like, right, we're no longer locked down.
But if I don't know, if I can go back to the gym, then I'm back at work. Surely, or I'm not, which would be very odd.
Yeah, you are, I suppose. Yeah, but yeah. All right. Well, that's.
I'm going to work out on the first day of going back.
Yeah. Then you're going to be sore for a week after that.
Be sore. I'm not going to work out again. Or maybe should I delay it because everybody's going to work out that day.
Yeah. I mean, my thing with it is what I don't want to do is have like a week back at the gym. And then there's a second wave, and then they close everything down again. I'll be like, oh, come on! I'll be gutted. I'll be so gutted. But yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I genuinely am worried about that we're going to be here again.
I think we're going to have a second wave.
They're going to lock it down again.
We're going to have a second wave. I don't know if it would be total lockdown, but it'll be like, yeah. Well, we've not even had a total lockdown, so almost lockdown.
Crazy. Anyway, Surely
Yeah.
is that enough? That's enough waffle for these
I
lot.
mean, yeah, we've been talking over 45 minutes, mate.
Wow.
Right, have you got any other biz?
No, not from moi.
No. Not from you? Yeah, not me, actually. We got a lot of stuff on, a lot of things happening. Various new products, hopefully, PTC wise.
Ooh,
Happening ish.
exciting. Good job you got there, mate. Exciting.
I know, it's good. It's good that, isn't it? Yeah. Otherwise, I'd literally have nothing to do.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Loving all your videos, mate. Loving all your demonstration videos.
There it is. What, stuff done properly? It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good to see, mate. We need more of it.
But some of the ones might actually like annoy some people in the next one, because on the captions I've said, don't do barbell back squats, don't do barbell deadlifts. But like, there's no point to it. I'm waiting for somebody to come at me. But yeah.
Oh, you will get that. Don't worry. Used to it by now, though. It's fine.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. But just I'm gonna kill them with niceness. So they're fine.
It's all good.
Explain. Well, I want to do back squat. Just don't. Why does your client need to do it? Doesn't matter. Fuck.
Yeah.
Why? Didn't injure him. Fuck off. Yeah. All right. On that note, I'll catch you next week, boy.
See you later.